As with every year, there's going to be a new Call of Duty title in 2025, and we've been hearing some leaks over the past few months regarding what we can expect to see for 2025's release. But a recent leak just revealed a ton of major information about Call of Duty's 2025 title, including the gameplay, the storyline, and even some zombies info that's added even more to our previous leaks. However, it's also not looking too good for the campaign in Black Ops 7, and a recent leak might indicate why that is, and honestly, I'm not liking the way it's sounding right now, but in any case, let's just dive right into it. There's been quite a bit number of leaks so far for Call of Duty's next game that's coming out later in 2025, and we know at this point that it's basically going to be Black Ops 7, and as we have heard throughout all the leaks, it's going to be a sequel to the Black Ops 2 storyline, and will remain in the futuristic modern-day part of the Black Ops 2 storyline. The campaign story is going to focus on the year 2035, so a pretty decent amount of time after Black Ops 2's modern story began, and it will involve both Alex Mason as well as Woods. In terms of the campaign, according to leaks, the story will allow for up to 4-player co-op, so you can play the campaign with other people. Also, the story will apparently be set within a large open world map called Avalon, so that's a pretty good connection between what we've seen in Black Ops 6 and the next Call of Duty game, and it also makes me think that the Avalon map that people thought would be for Warzone might have actually been the open world map for the Black Ops 7 campaign. What's interesting though is the idea that it's open world, because for the longest time ever, Call of Duty has been very much a linear story with missions and you just follow along this line. Hearing open world, it makes me think of games like, Assassin's Creed and things like that. I guess we saw a bit of a glimpse of this open world campaign structure back in Black Ops 6 with that mission out in the desert, but it was pretty restricted and repetitive, and it just wasn't implemented right in my opinion. We also had something similar in Modern Warfare 3, and I don't think I need to tell you how genuinely bad that was as well. Now the bad news comes in around the campaign basically, and according to leaker The Ghost of Hope over on Twitter, it sounds like the campaign for 2025's Call of Duty is going to be bad. In fact, apparently, the open world implementation in Black Ops 7 is going to be genuinely probably even worse than what we saw in Modern Warfare 3, and also according to The Ghost of Hope, the campaign for Black Ops 7 is going to be even worse than Black Ops 3 as well, which seems to be a pretty unpopular campaign to be honest with you guys. I didn't play Black Ops 3's campaign, so I can't speak about it, but let me know in the comments below if you did and if it was actually that bad. Beyond that, for the movement, we know that Omni movement and wall running are going to be included in Black Ops 7. Wall running does make sense just because it is set in the future, but I wonder how prominently different this will feel compared to some previous Call of Duty games with more futuristic elements to them. I assume they're not going to go too far with the futuristic stuff because those movement systems weren't the most popular when the futuristic games came out, and Call of Duty has relatively been consistent most of the time with these things. Now, apparently for Call of Duty 2026, which is so far called Modern Warfare 4, it currently doesn't seem to have Omni movement, which is pretty interesting because previous leaks and rumors stated that it would. So I don't know, Infinity Ward just kind of does its own thing sometimes when it comes to the movement systems. They don't usually like to follow what Treyarch does and vice versa. Now, aside from this, we also have information about the multiplayer aspects of Black Ops 7. Firstly, it's rumored that there's going to be a 32v32 player mode in the multiplayer, which is sort of making me wonder if there's going to be a ground war mode in Black Ops 7, because that is genuinely a large figure of players for a mode just outside of Warzone, so this is probably referring to ground war. Beyond this, it's totally possible that there's going to be lots of popular maps from Black Ops 2 and other games, but remade apparently in a 2035 futuristic Japanese style theme, which is definitely an interesting idea that I'm not entirely sure how I feel about. I think if they fundamentally change the structure of the classic maps, then that's going to be an issue, but if the maps are largely the same just with a visual update, then it's not a huge deal. At the end of the day, if the maps are good, that's what matters in my opinion, though the idea of them having a futuristic Japanese look is interesting because does this indicate something about the Black Ops 7 storyline? Who knows, but based off of the campaign leaks we're hearing about, I'm not really sure if this storyline is even going to be that good. It also looks like there are plans for everything to have a progression level system, including things like grenades, kill streaks, and perks, but there is also a plan for things from Black Ops 6 to carry over to Black Ops 7, and this seems to include progression, but this probably also means that things like operator skins and cosmetic features will likely carry over as well. This makes sense because that's sort of what Call of Duty did before when they had Modern Warfare 2 items and operators carried over to Modern Warfare 3. However, the thing is, with Call of Duty Black Ops 6 6's story not being set in the same time frame as the Black Ops 7 storyline, I'm kind of concerned that they might pull a hole. While it's not going to be consistent type of a thing, I really hope that's not the case, because a lot of the operator skins we've had in Black Ops 6 definitely don't fit a 90s theme. Some people are confused as to why there's back-to-back Black Ops games. I've heard people talk about this online, but this isn't something that Call of Duty hasn't done before. In fact, Modern Warfare 2 and then Modern Warfare 3, the reboot versions of course, were back-to-back games. Around that time it was actually rumored that Modern Warfare 2 was going to be a 2-year supported game. Do you guys remember that? And then Modern Warfare 3 would be sort of like a DLC, but that rumor didn't end up really being the reality, and instead we had Modern Warfare 3 come out right after Modern Warfare 2. So technically I guess Modern Warfare 2 could have been a 2-year supported game, but they're not going to do that. I definitely hope that there's cross progression, especially with operator skins, because it would honestly be disappointing to not be able to use those skins again outside of Warzone, especially since they're both Black Ops games. But anyways, the multiplayer side of things seems to be relatively the same as usual and will likely be close to the Black Ops 6 style at the end of the day. For zombies, there's been a good amount of leaks recently as well, and apparently zombies is indeed going to have the original crew return as multiverse variations, so Dempsey and the others of course are going to be coming back. We did hear about this before, and I actually discussed it in an older video about some Black Ops 7 zombies leaks, but it looks like we've got some more details that this is possibly going to be happening. Zombies is also going to keep up the round-based system that we've had so far in Black Ops 6, which I definitely enjoy. Round-based zombies is, in my opinion, a better system than the other types that we've had, and it's the one that traditionally has been there the whole time, so it doesn't make sense to change it again. I also think that zombies really saw a revival with Black Ops 6 after sort of faltering for a few iterations, so hopefully Black Ops 7 keeps up the good work with zombies and we get some more awesome maps and interesting Easter eggs to complete. If the campaign won't be good, I at least hope that zombies is going to be an enjoyable experience. The Zombies mode will apparently also be getting a remake of the transit map from Black Ops 2, so whether you love transit or you hate it, it does look like we are going to be seeing at least some form of a transit style map. It looks like zombies might also be getting a difficulty toggle, which does sound interesting. As we know, the older zombies games were more punishing in that it took way less hits to end your game, and the recent zombies titles have sort of given you buffers and tools to make your life easier, like armor plates, but it seems like Treyarch is experimenting a bit with the concept of a difficulty toggle for zombies, and that you can either choose to play it in the traditional way, or you can play it in the way that they've been making it recently. So this is a good idea in my opinion, and I also think it's a good way to keep newer zombies players interested in the mode while giving the older zombies players sort of a challenge. I think that zombies has been doing a good job of bringing in new fans with directed mode and things like that, and it makes these main quests accessible for people and helps them prepare for the standard mode. A difficulty toggle feels like it's pretty well in line with these concepts as well. There also seems to be a potentially new feature aside from wonder weapons called a wonder vehicle, which does sound bizarre in name, but maybe this is related to the fact that there's going to be a very large round-based map in Black Ops 7 Zombies, and in fact, it's rumored that it will be the largest ever map created for zombies, so if there's a wonder vehicle, maybe it relates to the main quest of this very large and expansive map. There's also apparently more focus this time around the zombie storyline, so it looks like we're going to keep seeing some engaging content like we have been so far in Black Ops 6. I'm hoping we get a lot of that older zombies feel again like we had in the older Black Ops games, because I personally really enjoy zombies. I enjoy the sort of vibe it has. It's pretty much what I play the most, and I think that zombies is genuinely a good mode that Call of Duty should keep putting a ton of effort into. Also, Black Ops 7 seems to be in development by Treyarch, as well with some other studios providing mostly just support roles, but Treyarch is once again leading the development. I think that's pretty promising for zombies, because whoever they've got on Black Ops 6 zombies right now is, in my opinion, doing a good job, so hopefully that carries over effort-wise for Black Ops 7. I can handle if the campaign is mid or even bad like I said before, but honestly, I feel like this says a lot about the fact that these games are pumped out at the speed, because genuinely you can tell when the campaigns are rushed, and it does take away from whatever story had been built prior to. I also really don't think that the open world thing works in a game like Call of Duty, and I genuinely don't really see why it's being added. The campaign doesn't get enough resource-wise to make it something like a Far Cry story, and I always found that the strength of Call of Duty's campaigns were the linear action-packed story sequences. I just don't think open world and Call of Duty go together very well in terms of story, and I think that what was fun about Call of Duty stories was always the insane action and the crazy blockbuster moments that were happening, so I don't really know what's with this push to the open world style. I just don't think it works. A lot of the Black Ops 7 info seems to be pretty in line with some previous rumors, and I'm interested to see what we've got coming up for the next Call of Duty game very soon. Anyways though, I'll wrap things up there. Thank you all for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like and subscribe with notifications set to all so you can stay up to date with all the latest content. Be sure to share this video and comment below what you think about the Black Ops 7 leaks, and that's all for today, folks.